the second, well, third, 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 third episode of the second half of season 7 of Doctor Who aired last night, and honestly, I was really, really disappointed. The big hype about this episode, of course, was the return of the Ice Warriors. Now, I haven't seen very many of the classic Who episodes, or as what one of my fellow admins likes to refer to it as, vintage Who episodes, which sounds so cool. So I really don't know a lot about the Ice Warriors other than what I learned from Cold War. Um, just to break this down, first aspect, Ice Warriors. I liked them. And from what the doctor was saying, it seems like that they would be very capable of some serious brutality, yet they still have this ability for mercy, has demonstrated when the Ice Warriors, sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up, let them live. So, obviously they have a capacity for mercy, but we can also see that they definitely can be very fierce. So, hoping to see more of them. I'm getting bored with Clara. The last video I made, I talked about her, and I'm getting bored with her because it seems to me that she's doing the same thing in every episode, just with different words. It's like saying, "Hey, do you want a drink? Would you like a drink? I've got some water. Do you want some?" It's the same. It's like that, to where I'm asking you the same thing, but it's just a different way of saying it. Her character's not evolving at all, and that's boring to me. I like to see these characters grow and change. If we take Amy from when she first started traveling with the Doctor to the end, at the end she's almost a totally new person. The same goes with Martha and Rose, and not really Donna, but that's really sad. So let's not talk about that. Um, all these characters are evolving and fluctuating and changing. We're even slowly seeing new sides of River. But Clara, I know this is her character, at least Clara's character. This is the third episode for her. And I'm just I feel like I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and we're playing the waiting game, and we don't want to play the waiting game because it sucks, so let's go play Hungry Hungry Hippos. That's what I feel like I'm doing with this character. My first companions were Amy and Rory, and 11 is my doctor. I started getting hooked at the end of season 5. So it is a hard transition for me because it's like, oh, well, this girl's cute and all, but what's she gonna offer? And so far, she hasn't offered. Had to put a fork in the sink, sorry. She really hasn't impressed me. She hasn't done anything that would impress me. Nothing. And Cold War, it was just a really boring episode. It was really anticlimactic for me because you know that the Ice Warrior's not gonna blow up the submarine, okay? I knew it, you knew it, the world knew it. We all knew that the Doctor wasn't gonna blow it up, so we knew something was gonna happen. I was expecting the Doctor to do some, really cool Doctor Time Lord thing, but instead it just kind of fell flat. And I understand that they wanted to show that the Ice Warriors could show mercy, and that's cool and all. It's cool. But it was boring. Everyone on my not everyone on my fan page, because I have 2,000 people, so a lot of people that I've talked to felt the same way. They felt like it was kind of a boring episode. But most people enjoyed the return of the Ice Warriors, so that's good. Next week's episode, I think, is called Hide, and it looks really good. From the previews, it's got kind of like a Slenderman feel to it, We're talking about Ghost and that sort of thing, so I'm really hoping it'll work. And honestly, what I want to see from Claire, I just want to see some emotion, So far, she's perky and she's upbeat and she's, I just got trapped in a room with an ice warrior. I've never seen one before, but it's okay because I did really good and I'm not all that scared. And it's cool that she's all level-headed and everything, and we finally got to see a little bit of emotion from her when she's seen the ripped apart bodies in the room of the submarine, and I liked that, you know. Finally, we get to see her acting human. And I mean, if she's not human, then I'm gonna look like a dumbass when someone comes back and watches this. But, and you know, that brings me to my next point. The plot lines revolving around the companions. However, that's gonna be a complaint that I'm gonna have throughout this entire season, so I won't get into that. But it was just kind of a disappointing episode. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really, really good, and 1 being I don't even want to watch this show anymore. Ice Warriors would the Cold War with the Ice Warrior is probably gonna have to be a 4 for me. And I mean, it just wasn't very good. I mean, the one with the pirates, I can't remember what episode it was better than that, and a lot of people didn't like that episode. I liked the twist at the end, but for the most part it was boring. So if that's like a 6, then Cold War is definitely a 5. And it's just, I'm bored. You know? I didn't even realize that it was Doctor Who Saturday, and I got down to my house and I turned it on and I'm like, oh, well, okay. And I'm like Facebooking at the same time, and it's never good if you're distracted while watching Doctor Who, because that either means you have a very strong distraction or that the episode's not very good. And Facebook is not a very strong distraction. So, I was just disappointed by it. So, hopefully next week's episode will be much, much better. It's looking like it will be, so I'm not going to get my hopes up very, very high, but I can get them up somewhat, I feel like. So, oh, there it goes. Oh, but back up far enough, I can make myself have a Stetson. But I can't get it to work. Here. Nothing, of course. But, anyway, hopefully next week's episode's better. So, I guess I will talk to you guys then.